is Weekend Edition with Olive Burrows.
Olive Burrows and our sign language interpreter Flora Atieno. As promised, we begin with the mysterious death of William Mutilangi, a corporate executive who was based in the United States. Now, by the time his family from Machakos was coming to terms with his death, his remains had already been burnt to ashes in the U.S. William Mutilangi worked at the American multinational beverage and food corporation, Pepsi Cola, where he had risen through the ranks to become the director of discovery and application. At the center of William's death are three individuals who the family says are complete strangers to them, yet somehow they managed to dictate what became of his remains. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, has now launched preliminary investigations into the web of baffling events that have surrounded the death of the businessman. Gina Kiruri begins our bulletin tonight.
The story of 67-year-old William Mutilangi starts on the slopes of a sleepy village at Masi, Machakos County, yet ends over 13,000 kilometers away in the United States of America. This photograph, taken on William's graduation, where he attained a first-class honors degree in food science from the University of Nairobi, froze the moment that kicked off William's illustrious career working at Pepsi Cola, where he co-invented and patented a new way of improving the mouthfeel of sugar-free beverages. The patent was finally approved by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on November 13, 2023. But William would never live to see the product of his hard work. In contrast to the loud success in his career, William was a man of few words.
Tulelewa na William huku Machakos. Tulikuwa tunaishi vizuri, alikuwa mtu jovo, anapenda vichekesho sana. He was ever smiling.
William is a quiet, he's a gentleman. He was working for Pepsi from 1986, and he was senior. He's a director actually. He was doing in food science. He was my best friend, very close.
I need not explain the bond that the Mutilangi brothers shared. In the photos from the funeral ceremony of their mother, they exude a bond of an unbreakable trio. But if fate could speak to them, William, seen here on the far right, might be startled to find out that 10 years after he buried his mother, his own death would happen far away in the United States under a cloak of secrecy.
He spoke to my bro on the 5th of October, and he said he is well. In fact, they were arranging how he is coming over for Christmas. That is December. And we were talking about getting together, all of us. But that never happened.
On the 26th of November 2023, Eddie received a phone call from a man who only identified himself as Ndambuki, who informed Eddie that his brother William was dead.
Ndambuki identified himself. He said he knew our brother. And I was with my brother, my elder brother called Vincent. They claimed to be from our village.
Ndambuki told them that for more information, the family should talk to another man named Githinji.
But when we called, Githinji said he can't talk. We talked to his lawyer here in Kenya.
The strange nature of the way the news was delivered to the family by the two complete strangers led them to believe that this was a bad joke. They rallied friends in the United States to check on William at the facility that Ndambuki had stated, Yonka's funeral home, but William's body was not there.
The body was not where he was telling us. We found the body in a different funeral home, which is called Yorktown.
However, the Mutilangi family's loss was about to get even more painful when they found out that William's body had been cremated by the Yorktown Funeral Home, who are acting on instructions by two individuals, Peter Githinji and a man named Bakari Malanda. Bakari's name was also strange to the family because they had never heard of him, yet he somehow convinced the funeral home that he was William's son, and through a letter which granted Peter Githinji the power of attorney, demanded that William's body be cremated.
We've never heard Willie mentioning Githinji. We don't know him. And Githinji claims Bakari is is a son. And we tried to find out from anyone, even his own close friends, whether they have even heard about him having a son. But none seemed like to know. It's only Githinji.
Of course, he was not that secretive. If he had a child, we would all be knowing. Yeah, I think he would also be proud. This is my son, but to the best of my knowledge, there's nothing like that.
Bakari is also listed as the informant in William's death certificate, which was initially kept hidden from the Mutilangi family. The death certificate states that William died of cardiopulmonary arrest caused by acute respiratory failure due to a cancerous tumor in his prostate. He died at 2:50 a.m. on the 16th of November 2023, just 11 days after the last conversation he had with his family, and 10 days before his family in Kenya was informed about it by Ndambuki.
Our father is dead, our mother is dead. Our firstborn in the family is also passed on. So Willie was the secondborn in the family. So to us, he was like a father figure. He's the one who we could talk to. So basically that's where we are. It really affected everyone in the family, especially that kind of family morals and values is really taken a big toll to us.
Bakari, a Tanzanian national, has been summoned several times by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations detectives after he claimed he lived at Feather Estate in Nairobi. He has, however, failed to show up. We have since established that Bakari is in fact in Tanzania. When we contacted him for a response on the matter, this is what he had to say. However, several details derail the statement by Bakari, claiming to be the son of William Mutilangi. Facts that a son would easily know about their father miss the mark in William's death certificate. For starters, Bakari indicated that William's father was named Alfred Mutilangi. Alfred is William's brother, not his father. He listed William's level of education as a bachelor's degree, yet William had attained a PhD. Bakari also failed to give the name of William's mother.
They said Githinji was looking for our mother's name. He could not find.
Githinji's response mimicked Bakari's response when we reached out to him for comment.
I am not associated to him.
Do you know William Mutilangi?
No.
Have you ever heard about him?
Yes.
Or what did you hear about William?
I have nothing to say about that.
Despite Githinji saying he was not associated to William, hospital records show that he was the one that drove William to hospital on 10th October 2023 alongside a woman who identified herself as Mary Mutilangi, which is strange because Mary Mutilangi is William's sister who was at home at Masii, Machakos County, Kenya at that time. Further, it is reported that Githinji has begun acquiring some of William's property. A background search on Peter Githinji also reveals that he has a criminal history. In 2009, he was charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a weapon, which he was to pay a $5,000 bond for. A hesitant-sounding Ndambuki, however, stayed on the phone a little longer than Githinji and Bakari after we identified ourselves to seek his right of reply.
Because what I know the family knows.
Okay, are you related to the family?
No.
Okay.
We are just friends. Yeah.
Oh, your family friends.
Yeah.
What type of a person was William? Was he loud? Was he quiet? What type of a person was he?
I have never seen him in life for many years.
So then when he moved to the US, did you also reconnect? Because I'm sure you're also surprised that William...
No. Unfortunately, no. Yeah.
So you just learned that he had passed on and you showed up?
Yeah. The number for Mutilangi was given by a friend
A
from
mutual
home.
friend. But when we brought up Githinji and Bakari's name, have you ever heard of Githinji?
That's why I don't want to continue with the story. Let's put up full stop.
And Bakari?
Yeah. Let's leave it there.
William boasted of a wealth of properties to his name. He had acquired 10 houses in Nairobi, Kiambu, and Machakos counties, almost totaling 200 million shillings. This in addition to other assets he had acquired in the United States, such as land holdings, cars, and a trust believed to be worth at least 500 million shillings. The Mutilangi family has since written to the managers of the properties and the National Police Service to prevent any meddling with his possessions.
What I can see there is a lot of negligence, because even just looking at a power of attorney, if you give it to somebody on the street, they will tell you that this does not even look like a legal paper. Somebody took his truck and personal effects and things like that. Somebody went, I think it's Githinji, he went and took his personal effects from the hospital, from the funeral home, and he has no right at all to do any of those things. I mean, the Law Society of Kenya needs to look into that matter, because there are violations of rules of professional conduct. Because if Kahudhu and Kahudhu advocates, if they're the ones who prepare that power of attorney, that is what started the whole problem. Because without that power of attorney, we wouldn't be doing what we are doing right now.
We also reached out to Githinji and Bakari's lawyer G.J. Kahudhu, who declined to comment on the matter. The compound of one of William's properties in Kenya bears the hallmarks of a man who loved the sophisticated yet simple elements of life. 2023 marked the first Christmas the Mutilangi family spent without William.
He was indicating to me that he wishes to come back home, and then I get him a wife. So I would tell him, I will. And then in between, he would ask me, do you have any good girl I could marry? Because good girls are already finished. And then I used to tell him, you can't marry an angel, you still marry somebody.
First and foremost is to bring Willie's remains in our own traditional way. We'll take him to bury him in our home village. That is our first priority as we continue with the rest of the investigation. And also we get to know what was his cause of death.
They have also filed complaints with the FBI, DCI, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Edward has been unable to get a visa to travel to the United States to collect the remains of his brother in order for funeral arrangements to start. This due to a protracted process which the family attributes to Githinji and Dambuki contesting the remains of their late brother. Ngina Kirori, NTV.